Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
You mean I could have diabetes and not even know it?
Then why would I want to know?
Heart disease, amputations, stroke, blindness, kidney disease. They all can be caused by diabetes, so it's critical that you know if you have it. But what makes diabetes so scary? Many people don't know when they have it, because there are often no symptoms. Meanwhile, diabetes can be causing damage that will lead to serious problems later on. If you're over 45, you don't exercise, and you're overweight, you're at risk for diabetes. What should you do? See your doctor, because a simple blood test can detect the problem, and with early treatment, you can prevent the devastating effects of diabetes. For more information, call the American Diabetes Association at 1-800-DIABETES. That's 1-800-DIABETES. Don't be blind to diabetes.
This is Dave from the Dave Matthews Band for Rad. When you go out and party, get drunk, then drive, you're not only loaded, you're a loaded weapon. When you celebrate, designate. Choose a designated driver.
5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. It's the morning after the election, and we are still waiting to see who will win the race for president. President Trump has won Florida, but it's still too soon to call several battleground states, including Pennsylvania. Several counties in Pennsylvania stopped counting overnight. The biggest congressional race in our area, District 19, which covers coastal Collier and Lee County, goes to Republican Byron Donalds. He's taking over Francis Rooney's old seat, beating Democrat Cindy Banyai. And the race for sheriff, incumbent Carmine Marcino will stay in charge of Lee County. And in Charlotte County, Sheriff Bill Prumel is going to stay as sheriff, beating out C. Dale Richard, retired law enforcement of 28 years. Amendment 2 passed, a decision on Florida's minimum wage. That means minimum wage in our state's going to gradually raise from $8.56 an hour to $15 an hour by 2026. Starting September 30th of next year, minimum wage will go up to $10 an hour and then increase $1 every year after. In the race for District 17, Greg Stubbe, the Republican incumbent, won, beating out Democrat Alan Ellison and Independent Theodore Murray. The city of Fort Myers has a new mayor, Kevin Anderson. He beat out Jacqueline McMiller for Randy Henderson's seat. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. There's a crash at Bayshore Road in North Tamiami Trail in North Fort Myers, shutting down eastbound Bayshore. If you usually take this commute towards I-75, avoid it, stick to Palm Beach Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After another cool and pleasant start, we rebound and warm up this afternoon. Breezy, mixture of sunshine and clouds with highs in the lower to middle 80s. We do start to bring in a chance of rain as we head Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend and the early part of next week. A big wild card in the forecast depending on where Ada decides to go. Wink will keep you posted on the very latest on that system as high temperatures look to top out into the 80s with more rain chances into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Movember. What an interesting way to look at men's health through the lens of a mustache. You can start off clean-shaven and then proceed to grow your mustache as a way to celebrate men actually talking about their health. Yeah, talking. When it comes to erectile dysfunction, talking is a great start. When you talk about it, you're one step closer to solving it. The next step? Metro Men's Health. Call us today and schedule your free evaluation. And let's talk about your ED and how you, like thousands of men, can achieve consistent, longer-lasting results with the new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. So this Movember, grow your mustache for men's health, and then let Metro Men's Health help you grow your relationship. Mention mustache and get your evaluation free, $150 value. Call Metro Men's Health and schedule your free evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or metromenshealth.com.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG, 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
If you weren't happy with the big media this election, you need to watch Newsmax TV, the fastest-growing TV channel in America. Find great shows with Greg Kelly, Mike Huckabee, Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, and more. Plus, see analysts like Dick Morris, Sean Spicer, Alan Dershowitz, Rudy Giuliani, and Kimberly Guilfoyle. Newsmax TV is on all the major cable systems, or find it free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, and more. Download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching today.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube if you want to watch. Here we are at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate that you would do that. All right, so this morning as you wake up, I'm going to try to be delicate here, and I'll say this. It's a mixed bag. How's that? You got a little bit of good news. You got a little bit of bad news. You got a little more bad news. You've got an uncertain future. And I haven't even gotten to the presidential race yet. So in just a quick second, we're going to get to Mike Opelka, pureopelka.com, who's going to help me to start this program and join in some of the, I'd love to say festivities, but it's more like crazy at this moment. But I wanted to get into a couple of things about some of the state and local races. Listen, as far as the state is concerned, you did your job. As far as the state is concerned, you came through. Florida came through. We picked up some House seats. That is a positive. People like Donna Shalala lost. We had a couple of seats in Broward, Miami-Dade Broward, big losses for Democrats there. A very interesting situation. Locally, we'll get into some of the specific local races. Any of the shockers locally. There really weren't any shockers, but I'm really, really worried about the fact that Amendment 2 passed. And by 61%, we are going to have a constitutionally amended $15 minimum wage in the state. Can't even begin to tell you what kind of harm that is going to do in the state. That is That's one of those that I was really worried about, because even outside of the bubble that is Florida, if you want to look at it that way, and all the great things that are happening, the Democrats, liberals in this state are chipping away little by little, and that is not a positive. So how do we spin this morning into something that could possibly be a positive? What are we looking at? What are the numbers across the country? Oh, by the way, for those that don't know, we still don't know who the president of the United States is just yet. Let's go to Mike Opelka, pureopelka.com, who is up bright and early this morning. Chipper, I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet. Confused, worried, joyous. Let's all find out together.
Oh boy,
that's not a good way to start.
Well, here's my take on things. Janice Dean, our friend over at Fox, the weather lady, who's just a remarkable person, said earlier today, sent out a tweet that said, "Anyone need coffee?" And I wrote back, like Hunter Biden would, "Got anything stronger?" And really, that's kind of the way I feel. Now, here's the reality. Donald Trump won the walk-up vote, and it looks like Joe Biden won the mail-in vote.
Go figure.
Isn't that amazing? This is the world we wake up and find ourselves in today. And how does this not mirror what happened in Israel earlier this year? What did they have? 4 different elections?
Yeah.
Because things were too close to call. So the Pennsylvania story really worries me because I'm so close to Pennsylvania. I could hit them with a good 7-iron from where I live.
Yeah.
And I don't trust those people as far as I could throw them. There really are a bunch of unsavory characters running that state, running that city of Philadelphia, and they stopped counting the votes. Now, Drew, we've known for months that, oh my goodness, Pennsylvania is going to have a lot of mail-in votes and a lot of non-in-person voting.
Yep.
Almost 2.5 million they had. So they said, we'll count 1 million, then everybody go to bed and come back to work tomorrow.
I cannot believe it. Georgia, of all places, where here they say, hey, we're going to count ballots through the night. We're going to take it to this big dome stadium. Everything will be great. We'll have tons of people. And then all of a sudden there's a pipe bursts. None of the ballots are harmed. But now we have to wait until today to start the count there as well. I mean, just too much happenstance.
Yeah.
But when you look at the early numbers in Pennsylvania, they're big for the president. We've got some big, with 64% reporting and how the rest of it is going to go. I'm looking at 55 to 43% right now. There's still a play here. Let's just put it that way. We really, really don't know. And then you look at Wisconsin and, oh man, talk about a squeaker. What else are you looking at? How are we trying to develop this map so that we save the republic?
Wisconsin and Michigan are both real strong possibles. I would love for Pennsylvania to come in for the president. Yes, he does have a strong lead, but I'm just going to say, but Philadelphia.
Yeah, I know.
And that really is the tough one. I think Georgia, even though the Stacey Abrams Plumbing Company apparently broke a pipe while they were getting ready to count the ballots.
I can't believe it. It's not even. Yes, it is. It's 2020. It's 2020 believable is what it is.
And it is amazing that we had the participation we had. And I know I hate participation trophies, but let's face it, America's had anemic voting levels for decades. And to see our people get involved is really heartening. And you know what? It's an indication that this country, yes, divided, but not as angry as we are told we are. We are participating. If we were angry, we would have stayed home and sulked.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case last night. And I really hope we get this solved. I was kind of, I know people are going to be mad at me. I wish the president didn't say some of the incendiary things he said last night, but he's angry and he's got a right to be angry. So Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, I think Nevada is going to Joe Biden. I think that's a given. I think they're going to make that happen. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen Harry Reid on TV last night. Did you see him last night
No,
on MSNBC?
no, I try to avoid any of those media outlets.
Grandpa is he looks as crazy as ever, and I don't think they'd be trotting him out if they weren't confident. And Harry Reid wears that. He's got this crazy cap that he wears.
Yeah.
And he's also now telling everybody he believes in aliens and that we covered up stuff at Area 51. So
Well, yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
But so Nevada, I think you put that in Biden's column.
Right.
But North Carolina, Georgia,
Pennsylvania,
Michigan, Wisconsin. If we wrap those, I don't think you need Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, I guess like I'm looking at. So I have a map up here that I'm kind of clicking through just to see the different scenarios, and I give Nevada like you do. I give Nevada to Biden. Arizona. Where do we go with Arizona? Why am I hearing all these different confusing things about Arizona?
Well, that's the ghost of John McCain going back to bite Donald Trump on the hind end, and a really angry McCain family working that state. So, and you have to, let's factor it in there.
Yeah.
The people in beautiful Southwest Florida know this. Don't California our state. And that's what's happened in Arizona. You had a whole bunch of people who left.
Yep.
Today is the anniversary, by the way, of the very first wagon train from the Midwest getting to California and reasonable people settling that state.
Yep.
And in the last 2 years, a ton of people have gotten out of there because they're tired of being taxed into poverty. And guess where they ended up first? Arizona. And they are now wreaking havoc on Arizona like they did in Colorado.
Yep, and it's getting closer to Utah. I know because I spent a year there. I worry about some of the things that we decided here in the state of Florida that I'll get to in just a second. So I'm looking at, so if you were to give Michigan, Georgia, and North Carolina to the president, we're going to the House. We're going someplace else as far as Electoral College. I'm taking Pennsylvania out of the equation. No, I'm sorry. If we take Pennsylvania out of the equation, it's over. Even with Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, giving Wisconsin to Biden. So I mean, I'm doing my best to try to figure out wiggle room and ways to move and I don't like what I see without Pennsylvania. I mean, I really don't like what I see. I like what I see early on in the numbers in Pennsylvania, but I don't like a map that doesn't have Pennsylvania in Trump's corner.
Well, that would be really critical. Pennsylvania would mean it's done.
Yeah.
And it's Donald Trump's. But I'm not done with Wisconsin yet. Kenosha came in for Donald Trump bigger this year than it did last time. And that's kind of a key thing. And that happened after the riots and the looting in Kenosha. And so that's a working man coming to vote. And so we still have hope in that state. So for all of the screaming last year, too, or last election about, hey, we have to get rid of this Electoral College. It's really unfair. Donald Trump he still lost the popular vote. But, yeah, that's California and New York. You take that out, and Donald Trump is crushing it.
Yeah.
And so I'm hopeful that we'll be able to fight to retain the Electoral College, because without it, Pennsylvania or Wisconsin and Michigan wouldn't mean Jack B. Nimble squat.
Yep,
You know,
that's true.
Nothing.
Yeah, and Molly Hemingway made a great point yesterday, and just take a second and think about what this country and this election would look like if we didn't have 4 years of the media going after the president the way they did, the Democrats going after the president the way they did. If you can look at how close the race is now through all of that, and then imagine a world where none of that existed, I think we would be talking about something clean, clear, decisive, and all right. So I'm looking at what? Okay, so I'm just looking at some of the things that are coming across Twitter. I've been glued to Twitter all night, and trying to follow all across the country and try to figure out what people are saying. I'm looking at things in Wisconsin, for example. If you go to the 95% total that's in, and you're looking at less than 8,000 votes separate Biden from Trump with 95%. But then you see some people on Twitter saying exactly what you just said, which is some of these numbers that, and they continue to change overnight, that the areas that will be coming in really would be beneficial to the president. So we just don't know. I mean, and how long we're going to have to, in Pennsylvania, we're going to have to wait till Friday? I mean, is that what we're looking at?
Maybe. It depends. There's already 2 GOP legal challenges in, and the Democrats are filing motions to squash them already about how long we count these votes and who's monitoring them. Can I ask a question?
Please ask me anything you want. Mike Opelka, by the way, joining us this morning to start off your day. And we're going to get to some of the local races coming up. Some of the sad news out of the state would be the Amendment 2, the $15 minimum wage amendment passed, and we have that. And Amendment 4, the amendment changes, which said, hey, we got to wait let's give it another year before we decide to make this something that is going to be permanent. Let's take time to examine and see what's going on here. Yeah, that was a big no. So now we are for sure going to have this $15 minimum wage in the state. And I don't know what we're going to do about that. I don't know how you're going to wiggle and maneuver. I don't know what small businesses are going to do. I just don't know. There's more that we'll talk about with that. But go ahead. Ask me a question otherwise.
So based on what I'm seeing, the same people who count the number of coronavirus cases are now going to count the ballots?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there, people.
Yeah.
Just leaving that out there on the table. The people you have counting the COVID cases are now going to count the ballots. Okay,
Have you seen,
trust them.
Is there anything positive? What have you seen that you're looking at and you're like, all right, this isn't bad. This isn't bad.
Well, your state was a big positive.
Yep.
Texas, which had long been rumored by Beto and a couple of people to be flipping, didn't flip, and it didn't flip handily. John Cornyn won a very tough race in his state. Senator John Cornyn in Texas. Mitch McConnell won a battle which was just swamped with money. Lindsey Graham and his speech, which if you didn't hear it, was just epic. His speech thanking his opponent was one of the greatest things. And so I think the Senate firewall is safe. I think Susan Collins ultimately comes across the finish line. And that was a race where literally $70 million from outside of the state was put up against her. I mean, this was the last election. All we heard was, well, this money is funneling into these Republican races and they're abusing the financing. Well, yeah, guess who did it this time? So there has to be campaign finance reform. I think we can get bipartisan agreement on that. But the Senate's safe. Pelosi didn't get the surge she thought she would get, but unfortunately, it's kind of looking like she's still there.
Yeah.
So there's that. But we live to fight another day, and that's all we can ask for any day.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of. It's funny because I'm looking at the Wall Street Journal and their election results and how they look at the toss-ups and the leans, and this is why we have a problem. A couple of things we noticed overnight. I cannot believe how many states were called, or Virginia was called so early, and the numbers were changing so often. Things that were happening there in Virginia that nobody was sure what was going, the fluctuations, but yet called it so early across the country. I'm just trying to figure out when did Mike, when did the media become the arbiter of this is the winner of this race? When was it the media's choice and their decision to tell us who won and who didn't? I always thought that was the secretaries of state that did that. What did I miss?
Well, we ceded control of elections to the media about 3 or 4 cycles ago, and maybe it was around Bush v. Gore in what was it? When the heck was that?
Yeah.
We had Bush v. Gore when the media stayed up all night and they told us what we needed to know. But I still, it's so irritating to me that we can't have the process work itself out without the media spinning it. We have all of these maps that they're pushing buttons and saying, well, here you have this and that. Yep. Exit polls and pollsters should be all fired today.
Yeah.
That's what has to happen, because we got no truth out of any of this.
Yeah.
And I think we as a people have to stand up and say, all right, we're done with this. And if you didn't realize it from what were the polls coming into last night? That Biden was up 8 to 10 points.
Across the board, everywhere.
Yeah. And that didn't happen.
Right.
So, we're done there.
Even
We're
how
absolutely
long,
done.
and even how long they waited to call the state of Florida. They waited so long. I mean, there were races that were being called for Biden even before they had. California with no. I was laughing because I was looking at the screen before I left. They called California with 0 in. I mean, they just called. I mean, and granted, I get it. I get that California is going Democrat. But that is just indicative of what the media did all night long, which was take races that had 2% polling in or precincts in, and they were making calls. And it's not about whether or not you look at it like I know what you're going to say, right? And you're going to look and say, well, we know this certain precinct is going to be blue and this one's red, and so they make those adjustments and it works out. So they make these calls early. But it's not about whether they're going to be right on the calls or not. It's about whether people are going to hear that in the media and then be discouraged and say, oh, forget it. Biden won. There's no reason to stay online here and vote. And then all of a sudden down ballot is hurt. All of a sudden you have Mark Kelly winning a Senate seat instead of McSally in Arizona. You have situations like that are going on when races get called and people decide to walk away. And that I was worried about last night. And I'm not sure how much of that was going on.
Well, there was a bit of it. CNN and Fox both called Virginia early, and then CNN walked it back.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you saw that.
It
and,
did.
California and New York, you could have called in August. So those are ones that you say, okay, we'll give you that. But the rest of it, they should all take a step back. A couple of years ago, they stopped doing the early calls. But now the rush to be first is defeating the rush to be correct.
Yeah.
And we need the media to focus on being correct.
Let me ask you this, because Ann in Cape Coral is saying, is there any hope of not becoming a living hell if Trump loses and the Senate stays red?
Yeah, that's the key. The Senate becomes the firewall. The Senate goes back to being what it's known as in D.C. is the cooling saucer in the Congress. And the Senate is the place where cooler heads will prevail, because if the GOP keeps the Senate as it looks like it, there won't be any. It'll be harder to pack the court, and it will be harder to put 2 new states on the books.
Right.
And the filibuster will stay in place. So those are key things.
All right, I'm looking at the time. We've got to take a break. I don't know what your situation is. If you want to stay, if you've got to run, what you have to do, you can tell me on the break. But we've got to run to a break right now. Mike Opelka joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Liz Harrington coming up at 7 o'clock.
Ooh!
Does that mean you want to stay around?
I love Liz Harrington.
I know. She's
my
hey, listen,
favorite.
you are more than welcome to jump in and jump out as the morning progresses. Anytime you want to come in with information, anytime you want to come in with thoughts, whatever you've got going on. So I'm good with that. Even with Liz jumping in at 7 o'clock, you want to come in as well. A lot going on this morning as we know stuff, we don't know stuff. There's a lot still out there that we're going to digest, unpack. We'll talk about that all coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
New Jersey gets a new business opportunity. Residents overwhelmingly voted to legalize recreational marijuana yesterday, making it the 12th state plus D.C. to make pot legal. Disney Cruise Line joins dozens of competitors in extending the suspension of all voyages from U.S. ports. Disney, Carnival, and Royal Caribbean announcing yesterday they won't sail until at least December 31st as cases of the coronavirus surge. The Wall Street Journal reports Comcast is in talks with Walmart to develop and distribute smart TVs as the cable giant tries to become a dominant hub for streaming apps as well as TV channels. And stocks rallied on Election Day. The Dow surged 555 points. The Nasdaq jumped 203. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
What's the perfect gift for every guy this holiday season? Untucked shirts. They're the comfortable, easy-to-wear styles every guy loves. That's because untucked shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they help guys to look sharp and feel comfortable. Who wouldn't love to unwrap one of our iconic button-downs in best-selling fabrics like super soft flannel, wrinkle-free cotton, and performance with stretch? Use code RADIO for 20% off your next purchase at any Untucked store or at untuckit.com. Untuckit. Shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5 buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. And whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hey, Mom. I'm here to drive you to your doctor's appointment.
Oh, we finished early.
What do you mean?
With my Humana Medicare Advantage plan, telehealth appointments with my doctor are covered.
Wow, that's great.
Well, that's human care for you. Humana wants its members to get the care they need, even at home.
Humana offers new ways to focus on your health at home. Because Humana isn't just health care, it's human care. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO, PPO, and PFFS organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. It's the morning after the election, and we are still waiting to see who will win the race for president. President Trump has won Florida, but it's still too soon to call several battleground states, including Pennsylvania. Several counties in Pennsylvania stopped counting overnight. The biggest congressional race in our area, District 19, which covers coastal Collier and Lee County, goes to Republican Byron Donalds. He's taking over Francis Rooney's old seat, beating Democrat Cindy Banyai. And the race for sheriff, incumbent Carmine Marcino will stay in charge of Lee County. And in Charlotte County, Sheriff Bill Prumel is going to stay as sheriff, beating out C. Dale Richard, retired law enforcement of 28 years. Amendment 2 passed, a decision on Florida's minimum wage. That means minimum wage in our states is going to gradually raise from $8.56 an hour to $15 an hour by 2026. Starting September 30th of next year, minimum wage will go up to $10 an hour and then increase $1 every year after. In the race for District 17, Greg Steube, the Republican incumbent, won, beating out Democrat Alan Ellison and Independent Theodore Murray. The city of Fort Myers has a new mayor, Kevin Anderson. He beat out Jacqueline McMiller for Randy Henderson's seat. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Bayshore Road and North Tamiami Trail is shutting down Bayshore eastbound, so this is heading towards I-75. Now, there's a way to navigate around this. You can take Powell if you're to the north of Bayshore Road, and then Exora. That will get you back onto Bayshore. If you're to the south, take East Mariana to Exora Drive. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After another cool and pleasant start, we rebound and warm up this afternoon. Breezy, mixture of sunshine and clouds with highs in the lower to middle 80s. We do start to bring in a chance of rain as we hit Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend in the early part of next week. A big wild card in the forecast depending on where Ada decides to go. Wink will keep you posted on the very latest on that system as high temperatures look to top out into the 80s with more rain chances into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. If your air conditioner could call somebody to help them when they really needed service, they'd call Kobe Cooling. Your air conditioner knows that for real air conditioning service, you need a real NATE certified mechanic. And Kobe Cooling stands alone as having the only 100% NATE certified mechanic team in Southwest Florida. Why did we spend the time and money for this training? Well, we did it for you. We want you to have the best trained and best certified mechanic at your home to handle your needs. It's not required in Florida, but at Kobe Cooling, it's mandatory. So call the best air conditioning company in Southwest Florida, as voted year after year in the News Press polls. Call 239-482-1542. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Southwest Florida is open for business and ready to welcome the 48th Annual Fort Myers Boat Show, November 12th through the 15th. 48 years in downtown on the Caloosahatchee, showcasing the very best in boats and boating products. Stretching along the river from Centennial Park to the newly opened Calusa Sound Convention Center and the City Yacht Basin, it's the most complete showing of boats, boating products, and all things marine. See, compare, and buy everything that's new in boating. From skiffs to fishing boats to cruising boats to luxury yachts, there's a boat for everyone, plus all the gear and gadgets boaters love. Take a break at a variety of downtown bars and restaurants, including the beautiful new Luminary Hotel that overlooks the show. There's plenty of room to stroll around in comfort, and they're ready to assist visitors to maintain social distancing and safety standards to make your day at the show safe and enjoyable. Don't miss boating's biggest showcase, the Fort Myers Boat Show, November 12th to the 15th. Visit FortMyersBoatShow.com for tickets and complete details.
A refreshing swim in your pool is just what you need in times like these. But do you know if your pool water is safe and healthy for your family and pets? Just because your pool is blue doesn't mean it's healthy. A poorly maintained pool can cause irreversible damage to your pool and equipment. Healthy Pools of Southwest Florida is a fully licensed and insured full-service pool company. Their experienced pool experts do it all: cleaning, repairs, leak detection, and more. And they'll always keep your heaters and pumps working their best. Their experts complete a 20-point checklist at each visit to assure well-balanced water and well-functioning equipment. They care about your pool and your family. That's why so many pool owners trust them. Call today for a free estimate, 425-0300. They'll keep your pool safe for your family and your pets. They look forward to serving you. Call Healthy Pools today, 425-0300. That's 425-0300. Or online at healthypoolsswfl.com. Healthy Pools is a for God and country company.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy.
we talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Tee off for a great day of golf at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Enjoy excellent playing conditions and a weekend special to play 18 holes for just $38 on Saturdays and Sundays after 11 a.m. Coral Oaks gift cards also make terrific holiday gifts for your favorite golfers. You can book tee times up to 7 days in advance and register for their upcoming charity golf fundraisers at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.
Trust Chris Safadi.
I want to make sure that every individual person can rely on us.
Trust Lois Tomey.
I love this community. It's something I take so much responsibility for.
Trust Jim Farrell.
My responsibility to the viewer is to be me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hype anything. Wink News has been trustworthy since 1954. It's earned day by day.
Weeknights on Wink News at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, it seems like there's a bunch of shenanigans coming up around the corner. With YouTuber David Dobrik and comedian Fortune Feimster. Plus,
walk us through what happened.
Hoda Kotb on the next Drew Crime.
I could immediately tell that something wasn't right.
All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live on YouTube. You want to watch? I see a lot of you watching. It's been busy on our YouTube channel, Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You can subscribe to the channel. Will help to keep us going. Mike Opelka will join us in just a second. Want to get to some of the local races and let you know that there were some big House wins in the state of Florida, which is good. Some Democrats that did lose, multiple Republicans knocking off Democrats in a lot of places across the country. But the former mayor of Miami-Dade County, Carlos Jimenez, beat Debbie Mercasol Powell in the 26th Congressional District. That was a big deal. Maria Elvira Salazar, backed by the president, ran against Donna Shalala in the past and lost. But this time, no. The 27th Congressional District, Ileana Ros-Lehtinen old district, now becomes Maria Salazar's district, which is a good thing. That's 2 House pickups here in the state. Certainly in the state of Florida, it was all about Dade, Miami-Dade, Broward County, and how the communities there in force out for the president. Big numbers that not winning numbers in the blue area of Miami-Dade, Broward, but much better numbers than anybody anticipated, and those strong numbers helped to propel the president in the state. So there's that. When we get to some of the local races, just in case you missed some of the local races, Greg Stubbe a winner, Byron Donalds a winner, Joe Gruder's a winner, District 27 Ray Rodriguez, Kaylee Tuck in 55, State House 56 is Melanie Bell, and 75 is Michael Grant. Adam Bontana won in District 76. Mike Giamlombardo in 77, Jenna Persons in 78, Spencer Roach in 79, Lauren Mello in District 80, Byron Donald's old district there. Bob Rommel, a winner in 106. Carmine Marcino, a winner. Bill Prummel in Charlotte County for sheriff. Steve Whidden in Hendry County for sheriff. A big Fort Myers mayoral race. The Democrat did not win, but came awfully close in an NPA race. Kevin Anderson, though, the winner in Fort Myers, so that is a good thing. But the one thing we've got to keep an eye on, everybody, is that Democrats are making inroads in the state of Florida. You don't believe it? You don't believe it? You better start believing it. Southwest Florida, as it grows and many people come here, when we jokingly say to people, look, leave your politics at home, they don't. They don't. They never do. If they're leaving to escape the politics in their state, that's one thing. But when they come here because they love the idea of retiring in the beautiful sunshine, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming here and leaving their politics behind. Kevin Ruane, Ray Sandelli, Frank Mann, winners for Lee County Commission. Cape Coral's a mess. I don't even want to talk about Cape Coral. Cape Coral's an absolute mess. You got a bunch of liberals on the city council, and this is what you vote for. And they're all NPA races, and nobody bothers to ask and dig into people's backgrounds to find out whether or not they're liberal or not. Well, guess what? They are. And guess what, Cape Coral? You got a lot of liberal policies that are going to make their way and inch their way through your politics there in Cape Coral. Congratulations. Sorry, I'm just mad at the Cape. I'm just mad. Same thing with the school board. It's more of the same, everybody. You had a chance for change, and nope, it's going to be more of the same in the Lee County School Board. So all the things that you've been disgusted with in the past will continue with the everything stays the same. And we'll go on in just a bit. But there are some of the thoughts there. Oh, and by the way, the big one to me, can't believe it. But and I'd love to hear from you, those in business, 239-479-5592. If you're a business owner, how is now the fact that the $15 minimum wage amendment to the Constitution in the state of Florida passed? That's your life now. Good luck figuring out your margin. I wonder how you're going to do it. 239-479-5592. What are you going to do as a small business owner? Mike Opelka, pureopelka.com. How do we do this, Mike? How is it that the state of Florida, with all the fantastic things, the growth, the governor, the positive things out of Tallahassee, all the things that have been happening, and now a constitutional amendment, which, by the way, the libs in this state know full well that if they want to get something done big, they go through the amendment process. They don't go through the legislative process because they always lose because we know better. And now we have this in front of us. How do you make sense of a state voting for a $15 minimum wage now in a constitutional amendment, and then on the other side of that, explain to small business that everything's going to be fine?
Yeah, well, here's the deal.
Tell me.
You now have the employees voting themselves a raise, and that's exactly what this is. There are more workers than there are bosses. And the workers were told, hey, you want a raise? You want the person flipping burgers? You can get $30,000 a year now if you want. If you get everybody to vote for it, the boss has to pay you that. Well, that's what happened. So now you have the startup worker who is going to be forced to take a $30,000 a year starting salary, and the bosses can't do anything about it. And it's really disturbing to me. People can't see beyond the horizon on this one. This will get rid of more jobs than it will help people.
Yep.
And that's the argument that, folks, you shouldn't have to work 2 jobs in order to be above the poverty level. No, the minimum wage is not to make a baseline income for every full-time job. It's a starting wage. And this will crush small business. I'm sure people are saying that. But,
yeah,
you got to change the way the state operates. This is exactly how California has now dug itself into a multi-billion-dollar pension hole. There are lifeguards who were making over $150,000 a year in California on the beaches who get a pension that's bigger than yours or mine ever would be.
It's unbelievable. Well, so what will happen, and we'll probably hear from some business owners soon. I'm looking at a lot of people that are messaging us on YouTube and Facebook because we are on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe while you're there. It helps to keep us going. And a lot of people are saying, listen, here's what's going to happen. Your Big Macs are going to go through the roof. They're going to be just like in New York. I think a Happy Meal was not very happy. Last time I checked, it was like $9 or something some ridiculous number, $9 or $10. It was crazy the last time I heard about that. And then the other part of it is, if you're a business owner and you've got a margin, if you want to stay afloat and make a living, you're going to have a whole lot of part-time employees, I would assume, without a whole lot of benefits. To bring them in, or I don't know. I'm not sure how you manipulate it. I mean, maybe that's not the case. You can't really do that. It's not like an Obamacare situation. Remember that when everybody was like, "Oh, there's going to be a whole lot of part-time folks in here because I can't afford this business can't afford to give the kind of health care that or health insurance that we were able to offer in the past." And they manipulated different things within the business if they're going to stay afloat. And if not, then they go away. And then you have bigger businesses that can afford to have you, replaced with technology. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, we just saw Monday, Walmart announced that they were going to get rid of the inventory robots because people could do it better. Guess what? The robots are coming back, people.
Oh, gosh. I hope it's at least make it the cool kind, like the ones we see at Dynamics there in Boston, the ones that they do backflips and they climb ladders and what's that one? You ever see that?
Boston Dynamics, the dogs.
Yeah.
And I prefer the ones from like the Matt Helm films that look like hot women in really cool outfits. Okay. Those are the robots.
Okay, as long as it's not Westworld or what's that? As long as it's not like that. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get the calls coming up in just a bit. Liz Harrington's going to join us at 7:05. This ought to be interesting. I can't wait to hear her perspective. One thing about Liz Harrington, if you do not know this, GOP spokesperson, is she doesn't hold back. She doesn't hold back. Doesn't make a difference who it is. It could be Christiane Amanpour on CNN, or it could be you.
It. She's shy and retiring.
No.
I love her. By the way, I did some Opelka math on the electoral situation.
I saw that. Yeah, tell everybody.
Yeah, if you throw Wisconsin, Nevada, and that second congressional district in Maine to Biden's direction, he has 255 electoral votes. And if we move North Carolina, Georgia, and Michigan to Donald Trump's side, those are all really likely. He has 263 electoral votes. That leaves one state remaining, and that is Pennsylvania with 20.
Yeah. So you gave Biden Wisconsin.
Yeah, I gave him Wisconsin because it just feels like the progressive roots that are based in Madison are so deep, and that worries me. It would be if Donald Trump were to win Wisconsin, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, because I'm looking at some of the numbers out of on my Twitter feed, folks that are in. All right, let's see. So we have Joseph Shepard, who's a writer at the American Thinker and the Federalist. And he's been watching Wisconsin, and what he's saying right now is there's 7 Wisconsin counties apart from Brown County, which are Trump counties, that have votes still yet to come in. This was 49 minutes ago, and all the Democrat votes have been counted, so they're all in and included. So anything coming in looks like it's going to be on the side of the president. So he is saying that it could be a squeaker. As a matter of fact, Jack Posobiec retweeted something about Wisconsin as well, saying there hasn't been much change, that Biden lost about 500 votes, his lead down to 7,000, but 4 counties still remain with ballots outstanding, and 3 of the 4 are red counties. So anything can happen still in Wisconsin. But if you were to give it to Biden.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as grimly realistic as possible.
Yeah.
Because I think we have to prepare for this, and we have to prepare for what these guys have planned. And I don't trust them at all. And I feel like Pennsylvania, my gosh, we're up by so much.
It's a huge margin. But what is, like, as we speak, I'm trying to see, I don't know where to go to get the real number. That's the problem. Where do you go to get because, all right, so let me see. I'm looking at, one site that's been pretty impressive is the 270 to win site has been impressive because they have, you can click on the state and they give you some pretty good consistent numbers that roll in. They've been really good about this, kind of like a live results map. And one of the things that they said in Pennsylvania is we're looking at a 55 to 43% lead for Trump. The numbers are about 500 and no, it's about 600.
It's
600,000.
600K, yes.
That's
almost
a lot.
700,000.
With 77% of the vote. And how are you going to make up 600,000 votes?
You have 1,400,000 votes that have yet to be counted. And those are early votes, which tend to lean towards Biden. So if Biden takes 65% of that vote, it's over, Johnny. So that's the
who's Johnny?
That's the
and why does he think it's over?
I don't know, but he's very grim these days. And Joe Jorgensen looms heavily, but Joe Jorgensen, the Libertarian candidate who scored votes in all of these states, significant numbers of votes, those votes tend to either come from, in a majority, the Democratic side of things, but you know who we haven't talked about today at all? Is no one worried about Kanye today?
Oh, why? Did he tweet something or how he picked up a couple thousand votes here and there, didn't he?
He did, and he's also said he's setting his sights on 2024.
Oh gosh! All right, let me just take one call for the two of us before we go to break, and that is with Steve in Lee County. Steve wanted to weigh in on Amendment 2. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. I just wanted to say I'm surprised that it passed with much of a vote behind it, and I'm really disappointed because not just are you going to be paying more for your goods and services, but there's so many state and local actually employees that are either OPS or whatnot, or full-time even, in some of the smaller counties that make way less than the minimum wage. And all it's going to do is give us a tax increase for state, local, and city taxes.
Yeah, they got to.
Or for one paying for more for our goods and services.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and no, it's a great point. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, there's people going to have to compete with a arbitrary number now, which you think it's going to stay there? Just wait a few years when people start complaining that it's still not enough. As everything goes up, the cost of everything goes up because of what you've done. Sorry. Anyway, all right, Mike Apelka, stay there because Liz Harrington's going to join us in about 10 more minutes. And I know, I'm saying you. I know you get excited. You get excited, and so between Liz, you and Liz together, I'm worried about the dynamic. I am.
I should just take a break and listen to Liz. But can I leave you with one fabulous moment from last night at the White House?
Yeah, go.
The Wi-Fi that was set up for the press.
Mm-hmm.
The Wi-Fi name was Biden built the cages, and the password was Trump built the wall. They were so mad. It's just epic. So we have to take pleasure in the small victories.
Yep. All right, stay there. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Before Election Day, the Illinois National Guard was called up in Chicago. Fox News reported Massachusetts had also activated their guard. In Oregon, where riots never stop, the National Guard was activated as well. In Washington, D.C., Black Lives Matter and Shut Down D.C. activists have been planning what they call the next phase of the election cycle, which happens in the streets. A planning session video mapped out police stations, government buildings, media outlets, and buildings supposedly occupied by Trump boosters. The session leader warned of war and people being killed. In blue cities across the country, business owners boarded up their establishments, afraid of Democrat violence if the election doesn't go the way local activists want. Against that backdrop came an odd story. Reuters warned that Election Day Trump train caravans could be a big security concern, according to experts. Reuters checked Facebook and found a dozen or so Trump caravans planned for today, Election Day. Well, yesterday. That was the big concern. A Trump caravan was even scheduled to drive past a Maryland voting center. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Shut Down D.C., other leftist groups have already shown us how violent they are. We know where the threat of violence is coming from and why. We don't need media experts to tell us it's coming from the left. It's not coming from the Trump right. More than 75% of identity theft victims who had accounts opened in their name did not find out that they had been victimized from their bank or credit card company. Don't be like them. Get Lifelock identity theft protection. Lifelock sees certain threats that you could miss if you're only monitoring your credit and bank statements. Plus, if you are a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based Lifelock restoration specialist dedicated to your case will work to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock looks out for you. They constantly monitor transactions in the billions each week, looking for evidence your identity's been stolen and is being used without your permission. Join LifeLock now. Save 25% off your first year. Call 800-440-4833. Go to lifelock.com. Use my name, Rush, as the promo code. That's lifelock.com, promo code Rush, for 25% off.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Attention Florida HVAC technicians. I want you to take a look down at your uniform. Is the name Best Home Services embroidered on the front? If not, I have some very bad news. You're working at the wrong company. Join a team where you can create your own opportunities. Join Best Home Services. If you take pride in providing outstanding customer service, Best Home Services is where you want to be. Of course we offer top wages, top benefits, and top perks, but it's the other stuff that makes us different. You and your family deserve more. Join the team at Best Home Services and enjoy living up to the name. Best Home Services, now hiring HVAC technicians.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Trust.
Breaking news as we begin
You can always
tonight.
trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
We're gonna give you something to taco about today.
A taco night so tasty.
And there's the laundry saying, I'm waiting for you.
It's a must make any night of the week.
I love hard shell tacos.
Then bring the vacation to your renovation.
No extra money was spent here.
From your porch to your garage.
Of course, we have a real bar.
I love it. I love it.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Hey, Mom, I'm here to drive you to your doctor's appointment.
Oh, we finished early.
What do you mean?
With my Humana Medicare Advantage plan, telehealth appointments with my doctor are covered.
Wow, that's great.
Well, that's human care for you. Humana wants its members to get the care they need, even at home.
Humana offers new ways to focus on your health at home. Because Humana isn't just health care, it's human care. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO, PPO, and PFFS organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. It's the morning after the election, and we are still waiting to see who will win the race for president. President Trump has won Florida, but it's still too soon to call several battleground states, including Pennsylvania. Several counties in Pennsylvania stopped counting overnight. The biggest congressional race in our area, District 19, which covers coastal Collier and Lee County, goes to Republican Byron Donalds. He's taking over Francis Rooney's old seat, beating Democrat Cindy Banyai. And the race for sheriff, incumbent Carmine Marcino will stay in charge of Lee County. And in Charlotte County, Sheriff Bill Prumel is going to stay as sheriff, beating out C. Dale Richard, retired law enforcement of 28 years. Amendment 2 passed, a decision on Florida's minimum wage. That means minimum wage in our state's going to gradually raise from $8.56 an hour to $15 an hour by 2026. Starting September 30th of next year, minimum wage will go up to $10 an hour and then increase $1 every year after. In the race for District 17, Greg Stubbe, the Republican incumbent, won, beating out Democrat Alan Ellison and Independent Theodore Murray. The city of Fort Myers has a new mayor, Kevin Anderson. He beat out Jacqueline McMiller for Randy Henderson's seat. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
Unfortunately, traffic is still slowing at the intersection of Bayshore Road and North Tamiami Trail. Bayshore is shut down eastbound, heading towards I-75. Also, there are delays in Cape Coral, especially northbound Skyline starting from Cape Coral Parkway. Chiquita is still up to speed, as well as Del Prado. Both bridges look great heading into Fort Myers. But busy traffic in Fort Myers, especially on that Daniels extension heading towards I-75. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
After another cool and pleasant start, we rebound and warm up this afternoon. Breezy, mixture of sunshine and clouds with highs in the lower to middle 80s. We do start to bring in a chance of rain as we head Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend in the early part of next week. A big wild card in the forecast depending on where Ada decides to go. Wink will keep you posted on the very latest on that system as high temperatures look to top out into the 80s with more rain chances into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
For perfect air and better health, call AC by Florida Comfort Systems. They're offering up to $13.50 in rebates plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Linux system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 today. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who will be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Indoor enthusiasts feel relaxed, comfortable, and happy in the great indoors. You can too with the perfect air that comes from the reliable, groundbreaking Lennox products offered by AC by Florida Comfort Systems. Right now, you can get up to $13.50 in rebates, plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Lennox home comfort system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 or visit online acbyfcs.com. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, think AC by Florida Comfort Systems, your local Lennox dealer. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Federal agencies urge every family to have an emergency radio. During any disaster, electrical power may get cut. The emergency radio gives you the vital information you need. Newsmax wants you to have the Dynamo emergency radio. It doesn't need batteries and works in any emergency. It retails for $30, but get it today with the free offer. Call toll-free 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-NEWSMAX. Or go online to gettheradio.com and get the emergency radio today.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live on YouTube if you want to watch, and Facebook. Just go to Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. That will help to keep us going. So that is a good thing if you're watching. And I see that a lot of you are watching this morning. We're going to get to some of the local races. By the way, if you are waking up this morning and you're wondering whether or not I'm about to tell you who the president of the United States is going to be, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait because of all the shenanigans that the Democrats pulled early on with ensuring that the Democrats would do mail-in voting early and often. And then we come to find out that Pennsylvania is going to be the one place that we're going to have to keep an eye on and watch. And it looks like it's all hinging on Pennsylvania and some of Georgia is a big state as well. That as happenstance would happen, these are the states where, number one, in Pennsylvania, we're not going to know for a couple of more days how this turns out, even though there's a pretty big, sizable lead for the president right now, about 600,000 plus vote lead in Pennsylvania. But, you know, when you've got 3 days and lots of time to come up with ballots, anything can happen. I hate to say it that way, but it's awful. Even Mark Levin was tweeting out just a little while ago about how, listen, don't make it sound like this is a normal election cycle. Everything has happened just like it always does. This has been far from normal. This has been far from right. It's not been right all along. I see what I did there. And where we're going to end up in the next few hours and days is still is anybody's guess. But certainly the integrity of the vote is what matters, and where we're going to be through all of this, we're going to kind of talk it out with you. Again, 239-479-5592 if you have a text, comment, call. All right, so let's see what we have as of right now here locally. Just to let you know that you certainly Southwest Florida, Lee County, Collier County did come through big. That was the discussion last night as I was on with Trey till about 10 o'clock last night. He was on until about 11. And as we were talking through all of the scenarios and one of the things that Trey was talking about and the concerns that that in order to make up some of the difference here in the state to win the state, it was going to mean that there were going to be astronomical numbers that would need to come from places like Lee County and Collier County, strong red districts that would able to propel the president in case of what could be some kind of blue wave in the blue areas of the state, that being Tampa, Orlando, the I-4 corridor, and Miami-Dade, Broward. Well, let's just put it this way. You did your work in winning the state for the president, and so did Broward, Miami-Dade, Broward County, where it looks as if they had numbers for Republicans that they haven't seen in a long time. Not that they were winning numbers, not that they were more red than blue in those areas, but the gap was closed. We're talking about the difference of 5 or 6 percentage points as opposed to 15, 20. I think Hillary Clinton won Broward, 63 to 30-something% back in 2016 was not the case. And even some pickups, some Democrats who lost their House races. One of the big ones is the far-left Donna Shalala, representative in 27th Congressional District in the state. That was Ileana Ross-Leightonen's seat. Well, she occupied the seat for the longest time. And Republican Maria Salazar, the winner in that seat, as well as another pickup by Republican Carlos Jimenez, the former mayor of Miami-Dade County, and beating Murkisal Powell in the 26th congressional district. So some nice pickups in the state. So that's good. Trying to start with something good, a little bit of good news, because the rest of it now, as we move forward, is going to get a little ugly. All right, so you ready for the ugly? Who's ready for the ugly? All right, here we go. We don't know who the president of the United States is right now. We know that if you, as we were talking to Mike Opelka earlier, as you start to manipulate the states and the numbers and those that are there and those that are close and those that look like they're leaning red or leaning blue, it looks like it's all going to come down to Pennsylvania. Right now, the president with a huge lead, but how does that get chipped away? Georgia's going to be important. North Carolina's going to be important. Michigan's going to be important. Wisconsin's going to. All of these states are important, but it seems like everything is going to run through Pennsylvania to figure out whether or not we are going to have 4 more years of Donald Trump. What else do we have? Some of the local races. Just going through the winners in the local races in the U.S. House District 17, Greg Suby, and District 19, Byron Donalds. State Senate, Gruters was a winner, as well as I'm just going to mention the names of the winners because we have so much to get to. The winners in state and local races, Ray Rodriguez, Kaylee Tuck, Melanie Bell, Michael Grant, Adam Botana, Mike Gianlombardo, Jenna Persons, Spencer Roach, Lauren Mello, Bob Rommel, Carmine Marcino for sheriff, Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummel, Hendry County Sheriff Steve Whidden, Fort Myers Mayor Kevin Anderson, Bonita Springs Mayor Rick Steinmeier. Some of the amendments we're going to get to in a little bit. Ruane, Sandelli, and Mann there for the Lee County Commission. Cape Coral's just a mess. And I'll say them. Dan Shepard, Tom Hayden, Robert Wells, Jessica Cosden. And school board, everything in Lee County stays the same. So you have Chris Patrica and Melissa Giovanelli there as winners. So everything stays the same. Here's the big disappointment, the huge disappointment, if you will, here in the state of Florida, and it's this. Cannot believe that here in the state of Florida, a state where people are moving to the sunshine all the time, we're constantly hearing about how it's insulting to tell people that leave your politics behind if you come to the state of Florida to enjoy the fruits that are here of not only the sunshine, but the work environment, the job environment, the economy, everything about this state and how wonderful it is because of this governor and a lot of people in the legislature. Amendment 2, the $15 minimum wage passed. 61%, 60 needed. We will have a $15 minimum wage here in the state of Florida, a constitutionally amended, I can't believe I'm even saying these words, $15 an hour minimum wage. And what does that mean? What does that mean for you, small businesses? What are we going to do? How is that going to affect the state? How many jobs now will change, will be lost? Prices of items that you have been used to for a long time because of the marketplace now will be defined by an arbitrary number, and how many small businesses will be able to compete and stay in that place. And that is not good news. That is awful. How are you going to do it? 239-479-5592. How are you going to do it? All of you small business owners, how are you going to make this work? So that's some of the local that's out there. Of course, we would love to hear from you this morning and your thoughts as you wake up and you don't know anything. We don't know what's going on right now. We know that Pennsylvania is going to be a big deal for the president. We know there's a way to get this done without Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, there are some states that are out there that are going to be too close to call right up to the very last minute. The National Guard is being brought in to help with Wisconsin ballot, an accounting issue that's going on. That just popped up. You've got 4 counties in Wisconsin remaining with ballots still outstanding, and 3 of the 4 are red counties, with the president down by about 7,000 votes. What does that look like? So we keep an eye on places like Wisconsin. And then we also look at places across the country like Georgia, where of all days in the state of Georgia, where in a large stadium where they are going to count ballots to get it done, not to wait days, not to wait until today to find out, but to figure out what's going on yesterday and to get it all done. A pipe bursts, as Mike Opelka brought up, from apparently Stacey Abrams Plumbing. Who, by the way, this just in, Stacey Abrams still not the governor of the state of Georgia. Now, no ballots were affected by the pipe leaking. The question now becomes, what is it going to look like? And what does it look like for you? All right, 239-479-5592. Let's take some calls as we wake up this morning, maybe some local races, state, national. What do you want to talk about? Bruce is in Cape Coral. Good morning, Bruce.
Morning, Drew. Hey, I just want to commend you for having the gumption to call out us here in the Cape for our self-governments. I've been here. I've moved from the Midwest South here 5 years ago, and I've watched this Joe Guido, as I call him, Covialo, the mayor, with his henchman John Knuckles, as I like to call him, Carrascoa, from Chicago and Boston, respectively, turn this little small town city council into their personal little fiefdom. They took an unauthorized trip to communist China.
Bruce, before we get into all of this, because I don't have a whole lot of time, I got a lot of people calling and I want to go through, but yep. I will say this: I am concerned about how in Cape Coral, how we've got a lot of NPA races for city council, and I wonder how many people that you know, Bruce, and you can just speak to this directly, and then we can move on. How many people do you know actually took the time to find out the backgrounds of people like Jessica Cosden, Tom Hayden, and Robert Welsh and Dan Shepard? I mean, how many people decided to study and find out what is their ideology? Where did they come from? What are they liberal Democrats? Have they proven this in the past? And I think the answer is no. And I think I think a lot of Republicans did not take the time to check, backed people because I don't know why, personalities, or maybe they just didn't like the other person that much. not realizing what their vote was going to mean. And I'm just telling you that, and listen, thanks for the call, Bruce. I appreciate it. Just telling you, Cape Coral, and there's a lot of left leaning into Cape Coral. And I'm trying to figure out where the benefits are for the city. Maybe I'm wrong. Carlos is in Naples. Hey, Carlos.
Hey, good morning, Drew.
Morning.
Just give me 1 second to make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about Joe Biden's mentality or way of probably be the president of the United States. What I'm worrying about is the United States, the society that we're living on, the people that are in the United States. How can we vote for a person that is clearly not mentally well to direct this country? How that we're going to look around the world having a president that is going to be a laughing stock to everybody? That's what I'm worried about it.
Well, I'm worried about to your point, Carlos, I'm worried about the politics. I'm worried about, quite honestly, I'm worried about what Kamala Harris has shown herself to be a communist. I'll say it.
Exactly.
You want to talk about the tweets that she's putting out? What was it? The equality versus equity. This tweet. If you go to her account and you'll see it. It is communism on display. Yeah, go ahead.
Drew, I'm sorry. Please help me understand something, because I wasn't born here, like I told you the other day.
Yeah.
When I called the other day, and I wasn't born here. I grew up in this country. I'm very proud to be an American. Will give gladly my life to defend this country. But how the American people don't see that? How can they be so naive to? How can they don't get it? I don't.
Well, I'll tell you how it works. It's very simple, Carlos. It's very, very simple. There are people in this country, mostly a younger generation that does not know better, that is growing up in a society more and more where the places that they go and the people that they talk to and the ones that teach them talk about how there are better societies out there than ours, that this country is not as great as has been described. And as a matter of fact, that there's a lot of equality that is not happening, and that you have an opportunity to change it by moving towards a more equitable position. They don't use words like communism. They don't use words like socialism. They use words like democratic socialism. So you get to vote for the person that's going to basically take your wealth and deny you your freedoms and your liberties. But they don't understand. All they know is they've got somebody next to them who they feel is not getting the same shot at the American dream as they are. And so the only way to do it is to have an overarching government that would be able to decide winners and losers and how everybody is going to be equal. But wait, no, let me finish. And then the other part of this, Carlos, is this. They haven't lived your experience. They haven't been through, and they don't know the way your family knows socialism, and it's tangible to you. They've never been there. They don't know anything about it, and they are convinced and told, and I got to run, Carlos. Listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. That if we only have America do it, if the United States does it, we'll get it right. So it's about fairness and equality that can only exist if the government decides and picks winners and losers, and that we can make everybody equal, which is ridiculous, because the idea that it's impossible, but somehow we have a generation that's being convinced otherwise. And then we have people that are being told that, look, everybody else has tried it and failed, and we could take bits and pieces here and there, and we can create this new American dream that would be a socialist utopia, which they've been trying to do for decades. And now, unfortunately, they have many in the media and also that are winning elections that feel the same way. All right, so where do we stand? Your thoughts, 239-479-5592. There's some good, there's some bad, and there's some really ugly out there right now. We're going to get to all of it coming up in your calls next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, you know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
It's our November clearance event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. Every new Kia available with no money down and no payments till February 2021. Select models with no interest financing for 75 months. And exclusive of that offer, 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, $49 per month. That's right, $49 per month for a new car. 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Plus, at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers, if you've got $500 down and you make at least $2,000 per month, our lenders can get you approved.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
24-month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. Zero security deposit with lender approval, expires month end.
Trust.
We have breaking news as we begin
always
tonight.
trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
We're gonna give you something to taco about today.
A taco night so tasty.
And there's the laundry saying, I'm waiting for you.
It's a must make any night of the week.
I love orange shell tacos.
Then bring the vacation to your renovation.
No extra money was spent here.
From your porch to your garage.
Of course, we have a real bar.
I love it. I love it.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have two choices, Storm Shield and all the rest. Here's what our client Lauren had to say.
Our windows made a difference in terms of how our house looked. So it looked 30 years old with our old windows. And now that we have our new Storm Shield windows, they look totally different. Our coastal look is coming along. We definitely have other projects to do, but the look alone of these windows has definitely improved our house. We have more energy efficient windows than we had before. It's quiet, and we definitely know in the event of a storm that we're safe and secure.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
When everything around us has been interrupted, including playtime, work time, and downtime, friends and family are always there to help pick up the pieces. At Castilla Roofing, we are here for our community, our employees, and you. Keeping a roof over your head is our job, our headache, and our promise to you. Castilla Roofing, family owned and operated. Your satisfaction is our reputation.
Go to CastillaRoofing.us, that's CASTILLA, or call 239-465-2646. License CCC 1328615.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet Store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet Store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet Store.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. It's the morning after the election, and we are still waiting to see who will win the race for president. President Trump has won Florida, but it's still too soon to call several battleground states, including Pennsylvania. Several counties in Pennsylvania stopped counting overnight. The biggest congressional race in our area, District 19, which covers coastal Collier and Lee County, goes to Republican Byron Donalds. He's taking over Francis Rooney's old seat, beating Democrat Cindy Banyai. And the race for sheriff, incumbent Carmine Marcino will stay in charge of Lee County. And in Charlotte County, Sheriff Bill Prumel is going to stay as sheriff, beating out C. Dale Richard, retired law enforcement of 28 years. Amendment 2 passed, a decision on Florida's minimum wage. That means minimum wage in our state's going to gradually raise from $8.56 an hour to $15 an hour by 2026. Starting September 30th of next year, minimum wage will go up to $10 an hour and then increase $1 every year after. In the race for District 17, Greg Stubbe, the Republican incumbent, won, beating out Democrat Alan Ellison and independent Theodore Murray. The city of Fort Myers has a new mayor, Kevin Anderson. He beat out Jacqueline McMiller for Randy Henderson's seat. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in downtown Fort Myers at Fowler and Lafayette Street is possibly shutting down northbound lanes of Fowler right now. If you are commuting that way, really give yourself lots of extra time. We look great on 41 if you want that as an alternate. Also, the crash in North Fort Myers at Bayshore Road in North Tamiami. One lane has reopened heading eastbound, so now you can use Bayshore to head to I-75. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After another cool and pleasant start, we rebound and warm up this afternoon. Breezy, mixture of sunshine and clouds with highs in the lower to middle 80s. We do start to bring in a chance of rain as we hit Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend in the early part of next week. A big wild card in the forecast depending on where Ada decides to go. Wink will keep you posted on the very latest on that system as high temperatures look to top out into the 80s with more rain chances into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida. They have an important message for anyone who has had these three things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all three, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all three questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
When I see something beautiful, I want to capture that moment. A photo really is worth more than 1,000 words. That photo isn't very good if it's not in focus.
Mrs. Buck loves photography, but glasses were getting in her way.
Even though photography is just a hobby, it's something I really care about, and it's good to know that Dr. List cared about me just as much.
We really don't want bad vision to keep people from doing the things they love.
Community Eye Center really does have the most caring doctors in sight.
Hi, this is Dr. Scheibel from Community Eye Center. My partner, Dr. Spatafor, and I want to remind everybody, don't be a spreader. The coronavirus is so tiny, 100 million particles fit on the head of a pin. As we run around in our trucks and cars and play golf and go fishing and go to work and do the things we like to do, we are spreading the virus. The virus can only move with us. Over 65, diabetes, COPD, all these folks will be hurt severely by this virus. Wash your hands, be careful, don't be a spreader.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable.
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Fatigued.
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We are waiting for Liz Harrington to give us a call. It's been a late night for her, so I can understand. So we'll wait and see. Love to hear from you, your thoughts as you wake up this morning. We don't know what's going on with the President of the United States, who it will be, but there are some things that we do know, and there's some absolutes. There are more than a few states that paused their counting, took a pause on the count, the opportunity to count votes, and said, "We'll wait. Let's hold on." And those are the states that will decide who the next president of the United States will be. And it's pretty despicable that this is where we are right now, that this is what happened. All right, so a couple of people, I'll get to that in just a second, and what is going on in Pennsylvania, where we probably won't know anything until Friday, and Pennsylvania seems to be now the state that will be the one in play, the most important. And I can't wait to hear from Liz Harrington and see what she thinks, GOP national spokesperson. So we'll see. Is that her? She's online for? Okay. Liz Harrington joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Good morning, Liz. How you feeling this morning?
Hey, I'm good, Drew. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little feisty, as you can imagine, for a lot of for the wrong reasons, because I don't like some of the shenanigans that are being pulled right now. As I'm looking at some of the things that are going on around the country, why don't we start with this? Let's do this, because I need to get out of this mood for just a half a second, because I know when we talk longer, you're going to put me back in this mood because I'm feisty. All right. There were some positives. Listen, in the state of Florida, we showed up. And not only that, picked up a couple of House seats on the way, which is nice. There was a lot of positive things that have been going on across the country before we even get to the presidential race. So some nice stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Florida turned up. President Trump doubled his margin of victory. Hispanics showed up. All these different communities showed up for the president. It's unbelievable how well the president and up and down the ballot. I mean, this was a red wave. Look at all the seats we flipped all across this country. And, people are sick and tired of the games and the shenanigans.
Yeah.
They called every, blue state, whatever you want to call it, for Biden within, 30 seconds. They took how many hours to call Florida?
I know, we were waiting. We sat up all night. We were waiting for them to call it. I know.
It should have been over within a minute. I mean, once you saw what was happening in Miami-Dade, a county that Clinton won by 30 points.
Yep.
And President Trump narrowed the gap to 8 or 9 points. I don't know where it stands now, but it was over.
Yeah.
It was over. And every single red state, they waited and took their time. And what they did with Arizona, which isn't done, by the way, it is not done, it's just atrocious.
Yeah.
And they're propping up Joe Biden because they didn't even have a candidate. They didn't even have a campaign, but they had the media, big tech, censoring me, censoring everybody who points out the irregularities. President Trump was up 15 points in Pennsylvania, 15 points. The western side of the state came out for President Trump like we've never seen, and it's no wonder why. Look at Butler, 58,000 people going to that rally the other night.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia kept out our poll watchers. They wouldn't let them in. They had them in the corner all the way away from ballots, and then they decided, we're going to stop counting? Excuse me?
Right.
They're just going to stop counting? Oh, well, then it's easy to see how many votes they need. I mean, it's a disgrace, and people see what's going on, and President Trump's not going to stand for it.
Yeah, well, I guess that is the other question is where do we go? We wait. The numbers, see that, and that's the thing. I look at the numbers. I've got family and friends that live in Pennsylvania. They're feeding me information all the time. They're talking about some of the numbers that are still outstanding, where it's not even at the 100%, 90%, 80% level yet. And we're talking about leads for the president in very heavy R districts, very heavy Trump supporting districts that still have yet to bring numbers in, put aside Philadelphia and what's going to happen in that city. And we already know what kind of mess that they're just sitting and waiting for to find out and what they could add to it. But the way the state looks, when you just physically look at it, you see the support for the president. It's hard to imagine unless you've got 3 days of trying to figure out where you're going to pick up here and there and get imaginative how you're going to win Pennsylvania for Biden. But there's a lot still of that going on. So, I mean, I don't want to make this something that's going to be litigious, but ultimately we got lawyers ready. We got people ready. We want answers, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants to hear. We're going to fight this.
Absolutely. We want a free and fair election, and we want an election day.
Yep.
I mean, that's why the president was sounding the alarm. That's why there's that Supreme Court not taking up the decision for 3 days after. That this is why. Because you have corrupt people in these Democrat-run cities who will stop at nothing. I mean, if we've learned anything about President Trump's historic victory in 2016 and what the people sending a message to the swamp, we've learned just how corrupt these people are. Yep. They will lie, they will cheat, they will spy, they will leak, they will try to destroy you. What do you think they're going to do if given the opportunity? They've got 3 days. They've got 3 days to see, this didn't have a postmark. Look at all these ballots coming in. But look, I have hope. We are praying. We're looking at the data. Wisconsin still have outstanding GOP counties.
Yep.
President Trump overperformed. Whatever you want to say, also, this was amazing and a real indictment on the media. And their polling, their corruption, it's a great little racket they got there. Have these rigged polls, and then you raise all these money. So a lot of people line their pockets in races that were never competitive. Jamie Harrison, who? I mean, right. Unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable. But these polls were so wrong. President Trump outperformed all of them.
Yep.
People showed up. The forgotten men and women showed up, and this isn't over. This is not over. They're corrupt. They didn't want to call these races for us. North Carolina, Georgia. We're going to win those states, and this is not over by any stretch, but they're trying to take it away from us.
Yeah. It almost seems, Liz, like in 2016, the media, Democrats, didn't know what we had in Donald Trump. And then when they found out, and then they realized what was going on through 4 years, We saw everything that happened from hoaxes to we all know it. Okay. Now it almost appears as if they know exactly who they have in Donald Trump as president of the United States. It is tangible. They know that the only way to do this now, as opposed to doing something on Election Day 2016 that they had to do after the fact, now they know they have to do it on Election Day, and that's why they stopped all of these numbers from coming in. That's why they stopped all these ballots from being counted. Like, why? Why are there certain states right now are not counting ballots? Why? Why are they just not doing it? What are you people doing?
It's so corrupt.
It is
so corrupt, and that's what President Trump said last night. We're winning. We're winning. So what do the Democrats do? They take their ball and go home until they can figure out enough ballots.
Right.
I mean, that's just so corrupt, and it's in your face. And it's so transparent, and it's so wrong. But, the truth will win, and the president is a fighter. And, look at what Fox did last night. I mean, unbelievable what Fox did last night. I think a lot of people are just, we've had it. We've had it with all of these forces, malign forces against the average American. And that's what this is. I mean, that was so corrupt what happened last night. Mm-hmm. Not calling these states for President Trump that he won fair and square. They're still not calling some of these states.
Yeah.
And they stopped counting and, we got a water break in Fulton. Why is it all these weird things always happen in the Democrat areas?
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
Well, the water break, from what I understand, I'm looking here. Oh, look, it's Stacey Abrams Plumbing. Yeah, that's
right.
Okay. All right, now it's making a whole lot of sense. All right, that was a Mike Opelka joke. He was funny. He was on earlier, and so But to that point, there are too many happenstances going on right now for people not to look and say and scratch their head and say, "Well, hold on a second. Is this how we want this to be from now on? I mean, is this the new norm? Is this what we have to deal with?" And dare I say,
we warned about this.
Yeah. Yes, and there are people that will tell you that. Yeah. Get used to it. This is just the way it's going to be because you're going to have a left in this country that will get what they want. And if it's going to be litigious or it's going to be burning down buildings, looting stores. And I mean, the fact that you have major metropolitan cities that had to board up and everybody knows why. Everybody knows why that was going on. And you think that if the president, when we all believe that when push comes to shove and we start to count these numbers and we see, and at the end of the day, hopefully earlier than the end of the week, the president has 4 more years. You think they're going to take their ball and go home then? And then you ask yourself, what would Republicans do? What would we do? What would conservatives do if they knew fair and square that this president lost an election? What would we do? And what would they do? And everybody knows the answer. And that's what's so disturbing.
Right. Oh, absolutely. They don't accept results if they don't win. No. They just don't. And you're right. They line this up. They had an assault on anybody doing any reporting, showing how this mail-in ballot scheme was a nightmare and going to be a nightmare, and the opportunities for fraud. They've had a propaganda campaign. They've had a campaign for the Democrats this entire year to do anything in their favor. And so we were never even really running against Joe Biden. I mean, you saw him last night. It happens.
Liz, it happens all the time.
Give us a break.
Yeah, listen. That happens all the time. It's a common thing that a candidate would go out and mistake his granddaughter for his dead son. That happens all the time.
Right.
It's in reality, it's sad. In reality, it is sad. Nobody takes joy in looking at that situation. Nobody takes joy. It's sad. But the reality is also sad that this is who many in this country and the party believes is the person that we need to have in the White House. You all know this is not the person that should be in the White House. And yet this is where we are today, and they'll take it any way that they can get it, which is another sad reality, but it's not all done yet. It's not.
And, it's not. And no, it is not done. We're not going to let them manipulate this and rig it. I mean, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, and we're not going to let it happen.
Yeah. All right. All right, Liz, I'm looking at the time. I got to run. I'm glad you, gosh, did you get any sleep? When did you go to bed? I don't even want to know.
Yeah, a little bit. I got a little bit. But.
It's by the way, it's Drew. It's me, right? You remember I'm just checking because, half the staff here is not sure if it was me or not walking in the door.
I'm really going to start turning into Biden here quick.
Okay. All right, Liz Harrington. Well, I'll see you.
All right,
we'll talk during the week.
Thank you, Florida. Thank you, Florida. We love Florida.
We love you back. All right, we'll see you soon. All right, there she goes. Liz Harrington joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Hey, listen, there are a lot of people that are worried about what we may see moving forward. There are a lot of people that are concerned, and you should be. You should be concerned about the politics of the day. You should be concerned about what has been going on. You should be concerned about how this is all played out. And again, I can't make this any more clear than I'm about to make it now. You know and I know. And number one, it's not the Republicans, it's not conservatives that are ready to tear down the streets, loot buildings, destroy property. Not going to happen. You know who's doing that. All of you, even you Democrats that are listening right now, you know who's doing it. And then the second part of it is this. Why were races not called last night when it was clear that the state of Florida was the president's? And other states that they waited till the very last minute. A whole lot of media outlets. Pick one. Why would they do that? Was it because that if they waited long enough that they could discourage people from going out on the West Coast in places like Arizona and Nevada to maybe make it appear as if the president wasn't going to win anyway, so why bother showing up? Why would you do that? When did the media get all of this power and this strength to be the ones to make the call, so to speak, when we all know that the secretaries of state are the ones that make the call? How many people yesterday voted for socialism? That's a sad reality, too, this morning. The people that voted for socialism and the generations that have been taught that through education and the media, music, entertainment, oh yeah, as Americans, we can do socialism right. And how if there's not a big change, not just in culture, but in education, there's not a big change, then it doesn't get weaker. It gets stronger, that ideology. And when you have somebody who has been so successful as this president has been successful, how is it possible with the rallies? None of this makes sense to people. Everybody knows Joe Biden was out yesterday on the streets of Pennsylvania to talk to people. I mean, hours before hours after the polls were open, and nobody was there. How is that possible? That you see the rallies and the numbers, and they didn't translate into votes. How is that possible? Well, we'll talk about this more coming up. We're going to get into the local and state races. For those that have been asking, I know I'm looking at the time when we ran long. We are going to have a constitutionally mandated $15 minimum hour wage in the state. What kind of damage will that do? And the one opportunity that we may have had to make a change, Amendment 4, to be able to take a breath and step back and look at this amendment and give it some time to explore what we've done, that did not pass. So what's the remedy? Where do we go? How's the rest of the week going to shake out? We'll talk about it all next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
A refreshing swim in your pool is just what you need in times like these. But do you know if your pool water is safe and healthy for your family and pets? Just because your pool is blue doesn't mean it's healthy. A poorly maintained pool can cause irreversible damage to your pool and equipment. Healthy Pools of Southwest Florida is a fully licensed and insured full-service pool company. Their experienced pool experts do it all: cleaning, repairs, leak detection, and more. And they'll always keep your heaters and pumps working their best. Their experts complete a 20-point checklist at each visit to assure well-balanced water and well-functioning equipment. They care about your pool and your family. That's why so many pool owners trust them. Call today for a free estimate, 425-0300. They'll keep your pool safe for your family and your pets. They look forward to serving you. Call Healthy Pools today, 425-0300. That's 425-0300. Or online at healthypoolsswfl.com. Healthy Pools is a for God and country company.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. I want to tell you about a major development in laser vision correction with France Eye Care. France Eye Care is where I went for my LASIK, and you should really consider them too. Listen to this. They call it Smile, and it's a lot like LASIK, but without a flap. So what's that even mean? Well, it means a smaller incision, so it's minimally invasive. Patients don't need to worry about a flap at all, which is especially important for you if you have an active lifestyle. Also, a very low incidence of dry eye syndrome, which we know nobody wants dry eye. Dr. France and his team of expert surgeons are the first practice in Southwest Florida to bring you this state-of-the-art laser vision correction that is easy on the eyes. Again, I went to Dr. France to improve my eyesight for what I needed. Have him help you and your family out. He is amazing. His team is the team that you can trust. Schedule your free Smile laser vision correction screening today at France Eye Care.
France Eye Care.
When you think RV, think La Mesa RV. Our everyday low price is posted on every RV. Top brands like Winnebago, Fleetwood, and Integra. From sporty Mercedes-powered motorhomes to luxury diesel pushers, every RV in stock is discounted. If you've been thinking about the RV lifestyle, think La Mesa RV. I-75 at Luckett Road in Fort Myers or lamesarv.com.
Indoor enthusiasts feel relaxed, comfortable, and happy in the great indoors. You can too with the perfect air that comes from the reliable, groundbreaking Lennox products offered by AC by Florida Comfort Systems. Right now, you can get up to $13.50 in rebates, plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Lennox home comfort system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 or visit online acbyfcs.com. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, think AC by Florida Comfort Systems, your local Lennox dealer. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Cathedral Roofing Innovations, the tile roof experts in Southwest Florida, they have an important message for anyone who has had these three things happen. Now, if you answer yes to all three, you have to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? 2, do you have a tile roof? 3, did your insurance company deny your claim and only pay for a small repair? Look, I know thousands of you listened and answered yes to all three questions. Now, even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. Now, all you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Just go to cathedralroofingnaples.com right now to start increasing the value of your home. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful,
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
and even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. It's the morning after the election, and we are still waiting to see who will win the race for president. President Trump has won Florida, but it's still too soon to call several battleground states, including Pennsylvania. Several counties in Pennsylvania stopped counting overnight. The biggest congressional race in our area, District 19, which covers coastal Collier and Lee County, goes to Republican Byron Donalds. He's taking over Francis Rooney's old seat, beating Democrat Cindy Banyai. And the race for sheriff, incumbent Carmine Marcino will stay in charge of Lee County. And in Charlotte County, Sheriff Bill Prumel is going to stay as sheriff, beating out C. Dale Richard, retired law enforcement of 28 years. Amendment 2 passed, a decision on Florida's minimum wage. That means minimum wage in our state's going to gradually raise from $8.56 an hour to $15 an hour by 2026. Starting September 30th of next year, minimum wage will go up to $10 an hour and then increase $1 every year after. In the race for District 17, Greg Stubbe, the Republican incumbent, won, beating out Democrat Alan Ellison and Independent Theodore Murray. The city of Fort Myers has a new mayor, Kevin Anderson. He beat out Jacqueline McMiller for Randy Henderson's seat. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News Traffic.
The crash in Collier County at Golden Gate Boulevard and 4th Street is slowing traffic significantly. All the way from Everglades Boulevard to Wilson, it is just backed up at a creep and crawl. Avoid the area. Also, there is a slowdown on Immokalee Road heading westbound towards the interstate. Traffic slowing as well from the crash at Fowler and Lafayette. If you're in downtown Fort Myers or heading this way, roadblock on northbound Fowler. Stick to Evans to avoid this. And if you're in the Cape, still seeing a crash at Southwest 24th and Santa Barbara Boulevard. The trip to the minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After another cool and pleasant start, we rebound and warm up this afternoon. Breezy, mixture of sunshine and clouds with highs in the lower to middle 80s. We do start to bring in a chance of rain as we hit Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend in the early part of next week. Big wild card in the forecast depending on where Ada decides to go. Wink will keep you posted on the very latest on that system as high temperatures look to top out into the 80s with more rain chances into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the 3rd free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Trust.
We have breaking news as we begin
always
tonight.
Trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
We're gonna give you something to taco about today.
A taco night so tasty.
And there's the laundry saying, I'm waiting for you.
It's a must make any night of the week.
I love orange shell tacos.
Then bring the vacation to your renovation.
No extra money was spent here.
From your porch to your garage.
Of course, we have a real bar.
I love it. I love it.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services. Our family protecting your family.
If you weren't happy with the big media this election, you need to watch Newsmax TV, the fastest growing TV channel in America. Find great shows with Greg Kelly, Mike Huckabee, Diamond and Silk, Michelle Malkin, and more. Plus, see analysts like Dick Morris, Sean Spicer, Alan Dershowitz, Rudy Giuliani, and Kimberly Guilfoyle. Newsmax TV is on all the major cable systems, or find it free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, and more. Download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching today.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors, plus there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technologies advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solution for your business. Call 877-ASK-DELL or go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Hey, we appreciate you subscribing and watching right now. The great Todd Starnes is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. You probably know Todd Starnes because he is a nationally syndicated radio host. ToddStarnes.com is his website. And he has one fantastic perspective on everything that's going on. Kind of almost like a calming voice in the wilderness. And I need that right now, Todd Starnes. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Good to be with you today, and certainly a long morning for the country, and I suspect it's going to be a long few days as we wonder how long it's going to take for the Democrats to steal this election.
Yeah, when you're when you're talking to the country on your program. And you're getting a vibe of everything that's going on across the nation, and you brought up a very interesting point on your Twitter account when you said Joe Biden talking about the most expensive voter fraud organization in political history. Turns out it wasn't a gaffe. That might be the one thing that Joe Biden said that wasn't a gaffe. But how concerned are you, Todd, moving forward? With the stoppage of counting ballots, some of the things that I hope and pray are not going to be the norm now. What do you think?
Well, there are a couple of things. And first of all, I think people are genuinely shocked by the behavior of Fox News and Fox News Radio. And people are just enraged, going from the White House to the governor's mansion in Arizona to the rank and file conservative. And I think they realize that the Fox News of today is not the Fox News of just a few years ago. And that really just, I think, was an eye-opener for a lot of people. And it does make you wonder if there is in fact a conservative media, or if talk radio is the only bastion left for people to get fair and balanced news coverage. The other part of this, and I think you're right to bring this up, is the legitimacy of our electoral process. I mean, the mainstream media, they're acting as if this is some sort of normal thing, just to close up shop and stop counting the ballots. That is incredibly unusual, and honestly, it tells me that shenanigans are in the works.
Yeah. Todd Starnes joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, national syndicated radio host. ToddStarnes.com is his website. Great information there. And, the one thing I guess people are asking this morning as they wake up is, what do we think is going to happen? Putting aside the shenanigans, I mean, the lead right now for the president in Pennsylvania is substantial. I think it's like 600,000 last count. If you're looking, of course, Philadelphia, the outlier, which means that they've got 3 days or so to figure out how they're going to pick all of that up. I mean, is there a moment where we could look at this and say, this is way too obvious what's happening and the shenanigans going on for us to not lawyer up, so to speak, and get down to business there. Is that how you see a lot of that playing out?
Well, it should have already been done. And one of the things we've been talking about on my nationally syndicated radio show is the Trump campaign and how incompetent those people have been. The president, I predicted yesterday on my show that the president would win re-election in spite of the incompetency of the presidential campaign. They have done a terrible job, a great disservice to this president, and he's getting bad advice. Honestly, what should have happened yesterday, the president should have been the first one out of the gate to get out in front of the microphones and set the tone and tenor. Instead, they waited for Joe Biden to do that, and they waited for the network news anchors to do that. And as a result, the president, is nearly 2 o'clock this morning before the president finally got out in front of the cameras, and I think that was too late. So what happens now? I suspect you are going to start seeing the establishment Republicans, the Chris Christies of the world, calling out the president, and you're going to start seeing a groundswell of support from the Mitt Romneys in the Senate and elsewhere, calling on the president for the good of the country, to go ahead and concede this race.
You think so, huh?
I would not be surprised if that's what happens, because keep in mind, the Republicans, at the end of the day, still hate this man. Donald Trump is not a Republican. He just borrowed their party to accomplish his agenda, which is the agenda of the people, by the way. This is a populist president. And but again, it's a very sad day for journalism in America. Shame on Fox News for what they did. And I think that there's going to be a lot of blowback, a lot of people watching Newsmax this morning.
Yeah, there was a lot of disgust at the fact that they waited. Here we are in the state of Florida, and why anyone at all would wait to call Florida while other races that were that had not even close to as many precincts in at the time, calling races for Joe Biden with confidence. In some places, they were calling races where the individual was losing. In the numbers that they were showing, with a lot of assumption on the back end that well, we know what we're doing here, what's out there and exists. And the only reason why I would say that was in existence was because they wanted to manipulate individuals that were going out, maybe later on the West Coast, to believe that there was any reason or hope to even vote.
That could have been it. And I think the fix was in. I think the president won re-election, and the question is, will the Trump administration have the fortitude to stand and fight, and what is that going to look like? So it's going to get nasty over the next couple of days, and folks need to buckle up and get ready, because they're trying to steal this election right under our very noses.
Yeah. Todd Starnes joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, ToddStarnes.com, the website, Todd Starnes, at Todd Starnes on Twitter if you want to follow him there. Nationally syndicated radio host, has a fantastic program, and we always appreciate a few minutes. Thank you so much. We'll hopefully speak to you soon. All right, all the best. Jonathan Martin is joining us right now after a busy night. Boy, did you hear Todd Starnes there? That was something else.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. We did something that we'd never done in Lee County before. The state of Florida, I think, turned out huge for Donald Trump last night, and I'm really excited about what this means, not just for this election, but for our country, and then looking forward to already to 2022. There were a lot of uncertainties with Amendment 4 that we weren't sure how that was going to play out. Amendment 4 from 2 years ago, Lee County did better than it's ever done, and I'm really proud of everybody who's worked so hard to make sure the president got reelected.
Yeah. So all right. So Jonathan, the good news: the president reelected in the state. The good news: Southwest Florida showed up en masse. The good news is that across the board, a lot of great races won here, not only in Southwest Florida, but even in Miami-Dade Broward, the pickup of two really important seats on the House side from a very far left Donna Shalala, which was a great pickup, and District 26 Carlos Jimenez beating Mercasel Powell. So 2 great pickups. So nice to see. And even some of the change there on the East Coast that we witnessed. But now we have to get to the other part. In the midst of a lot of positive news and a lot of people getting out, how concerned are you with some of the amendments that we just witnessed? We talked about this. We informed people here in Southwest Florida. I know we had an area here that went out and voted, and I believe they voted the right way. They were right all along, if you want to go there, when it came to these amendments. And yet the one that I think is really hurting my heart right now is Amendment 2.
Yeah, I think that's going to do the most damage to the economy. It's going to do the most damage to small business owners. It's going to have businesses retool and replace workers that are making minimum wage or a little bit above minimum wage. It's just going to become more cheap and less expensive for them to be replaced with computers, machines like we've seen at McDonald's, the touch screens, the self-checkout lines, and we're going to lose some of those entry-level jobs to educate our younger students and people right out of high school. It's unfortunate. Even in Lee County, we didn't vote to pass Amendment 2, but we were still pretty close. And I think it just shows that there's a lack of understanding of basic economic principles when people come out of school. So, I don't know what to say other than
we need to do a better job educating, letting people know.
I hope the small businesses can survive the transition.
Yeah, I don't know how many, I'm looking at my text line, and my text line's been going crazy this morning of how businesses are going to react to this. We talked about it, how these businesses work in margin, just same way that you live your life in margin. There's only a certain way that you can go before you either have to exit the lane or you've got to figure out a way to survive. And typically that's going to mean they're raising prices or not hiring certain individuals, and also not being able to hire the same way you did before to be able to stay within that margin as a business. And so people are going to have to get awfully creative to figure out how they're going to get through this. And in the future, I guess, I was really hoping, I have to tell you, Jonathan, I was really hoping that the one firewall, if you will, was going to be Amendment 4 in this ballot. I wonder if that's something that's going to have to be reconsidered again.
Yeah, Amendment 4, the people want to have their voice heard, and they want to have it heard now. And I think that that's pretty clear. Maybe what can be done is we can start discussing these issues as they're being as the petitions are being passed around, and maybe there can be more education about the issues from the very beginning, so that the language that appears on the ballot can be more clear, and the consequences can be more clear to the voter. I mean, again, if you look at the ballot, I think the voters voted for what sounded good and what sounded compassionate and what sounded like what sounded to be a good idea. So you can't discredit the voter for not caring. Unfortunately, a lot of the votes that came in on the amendments are going to have dire consequences. And with Amendment 2, it affects disproportionately the businesses that have already been knocked down because of the COVID shutdowns. And hopefully this isn't the 1-2 punch that's going to kill so many great small businesses, things that make the state of Florida just an incredible place to visit or raise a family. And hopefully they can survive it and we can figure out a way to get past it.
Yeah, well, we are resilient, so I believe that we'll figure out a way. And certainly, to your point, we're going to have to do a better job of making sure that before anything even gets considered, that there is a discussion out there and hard and strong about what it is, what it means, and certainly when it comes to amendments, man, that's a tough.
Well, and Drew, we can't forget who is behind Amendment 2 and who was pushing for minimum wage. Is John Morgan. His whole purpose is to get up the vote for Democrats so that he can have his way and he can have more influence. He's somebody who likes to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars here in conservative Southwest Florida trying to convince people that he cares about them. But this is a prime example, and every time this commercial plays, we got to remember this is who he is.
Yeah. All right, Jonathan Martin. Listen, I appreciate a few minutes. We'll talk soon. All right. And by the way, when it comes to the presidential election, everybody, it ain't over. It ain't over. So let's not get too down here or think that it's out of reach because we still have time, even with the shenanigans. You bet. All right, Jonathan. All the best. There he goes. Jonathan Martin joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Listen, you came through Southwest Florida. State came through. Question now is what happens. Some of the local races that we know, calling some of the winners here, and Greg Stubbe in House District 17, Byron Donalds in House District 19. Some of the winners here, I'll just run through the winners so you know. Joe Gruters, Ray Rodriguez, Kelly Tuck, Melanie Bell, Michael Grant, Adam Botana, Mike Gianlombardo, Jenna Persons, Spencer Roach, Lauren Mello. By the way, all Republicans here that I'm talking about. Bob Rommel, Carmine Marcino for Lee County Sheriff, Bill Prummel for Charlotte County Sheriff, and Steve Whidden for Hendry County Sheriff. Kevin Anderson in Fort Myers for the mayoral race and an NPA race where there was nothing NPA about it. It was about his, how do I put this? Jacqueline McMiller was a big-time Democrat. Big-time Democrat. Sure would like to know these things when you vote for people, right? But in an NPA race, nope, can't talk about that, can we? Another frustration there. Lee County Commission, Kevin Ruane, Ray Sandelli, and Frank Mann winning. Cape Coral City Council, hey, listen, I'll say it. A lot of people won't. I'm just telling you that Cape Coral is going more and more liberal and more Democrat as we speak. And all these NPA races that you look at in Cape Coral, did anybody bother to do any due diligence to find out maybe more about Tom Hayden and his background? And, you know, Jessica Cosden has been there, but I remember when Jessica Cosden first ran, and she's a Democrat. Oh, no, we're not. Sorry, no party affiliation. We're not allowed to say that. Do we look to see individuals specifically and whether or not they voted Democrat in the past, that they have liberal leanings? Are there places that we can go to find out these things? Of course, there are places we can go to find out. Of course, you can find out more. Did you? In Cape Coral, here we go again. I'm just telling you. Look, for those that have that as their background, being a Democrat to them is, I'm sure, is not a dirty word, right? I mean, their liberal backgrounds is not a bad thing, right? For them. Are we allowed to talk about it? Well, they've won their races now, so I guess it's okay to bring it up. But again, you know, is that where the city's going? Is that the lean that we've got going on in the city of Cape Coral? I just want to make the point again that as we talk coming up more about, and we'll get into the presidential race, and I believe we'll have Mike Opelka coming back, that we can talk more in detail about where we go from here, not knowing who the president is at this moment in time and whether or not the president's going to have 4 more years and some of the shenanigans that are going on, but where we can find victory. That, you know, there are some things that stay the same, like Lee County School Board. That it seems like it's business as usual, and when you had a chance for change, you decided not to, and okay. And on the other side is also making sure that if we're going to have this process moving forward, where we're going to discuss, we're going to talk about candidates, we're going to care about the values that you share, that you have. If you're a conservative and you care about your conservative values and you care about ensuring that the values and the things that make Southwest Florida great, that makes the state the place where many, many people want to continue to move. It's not just the sunshine. It is the economic prosperity we have here. It is the fact that we're not locked down like some other states are going to be. And if Joe Biden is the president nationally, we're going to lock it down too. Is that what we're going to do? How you do that, I don't know. But again, that there are people that are going to move to the state to have you believe that they're coming here for the sunshine, and when they get here, that's all it is about. And even though they left places that are as liberal can be, sometimes you can't get the liberal out of them. They just want to be fair. They just want to be, they just want equity. And that's all it is. And it's liberalism clothed in fairness and equity. And I hope that's not where we're leaning heading into the future here in this town. All right, we got to go. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We'll be back with your calls, 239-479-5592. It's right to all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
True Steel. Weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Guess what, Southwest Florida? It's not too late. You can still get the full original base MSRP for your trade-in, but only at Naples Nissan. Yes, bring us that 6, 7, 8-year-old car you're driving now, and we'll pay you what you paid for it, so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. So, yeah, whatever it was worth back in 2012, that's exactly what it'll be worth now. But only at Naples Nissan. We don't care where you bought your car from or if it was already used when you bought it. If it's a 2012 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, we're paying you the full original base MSRP for it. Go to NaplesNissan.com and pick out your favorite new Nissan model. Then come see us on Pine Ridge Road to get the full base MSRP for your trade-in and drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Get all the details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
For perfect hair and better health, call AC by Florida Comfort Systems. They're offering up to $13.50 in rebates plus payments as low as $132 a month on a new Linux system. Call AC by Florida Comfort Systems at 239-774-5501 today. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. License number CAC 057065.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Lowe's helps pros like you do the job right by having more of what you need in stock, and it's savings you can count on every day. Like Valspar 2000 Paint Plus Primer starting at just $19.98 a gallon. And whether you're updating properties or building new homes, get up to 40% off select appliance special values with 4-piece kitchen suites as low as $1,160. For your next job and every job after, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Appliance offer valid through September 11th. U.S. only.
Trust means that you are reliable and honest every single day.
Trust Chris Safadi.
I want to make sure that every individual person can rely on us.
Trust Lois Tomey.
I love this community. It's something I take so much responsibility for.
Trust, Jim Farrell.
My responsibility to the viewer is to be me, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hype anything. Wink News has been trustworthy since 1954. It's earned day by day.
Weeknights on Wink News at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, it seems like there's a bunch of shenanigans coming up around the corner. With YouTuber David Dobrik and comedian Fortune Feimster. Plus,
Walk us through what happened.
Hoda Kotb on the next Drew Crime.
I could immediately tell that something wasn't right.
All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
This Wink News update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. It's the morning after the election, and we are still waiting to see who will win the race for president. President Trump has won Florida, but it's still too soon to call several battleground states, including Pennsylvania. Several counties in Pennsylvania stopped counting overnight. The biggest congressional race in our area, District 19, which covers coastal Collier and Lee County, goes to Republican Byron Donalds. He's taking over Francis Rooney's old seat, beating Democrat Cindy Banyai. And the race for sheriff, incumbent Carmine Marcino will stay in charge of Lee County. And in Charlotte County, Sheriff Bill Prumel is going to stay as sheriff, beating out C. Dale Richard, retired law enforcement of 28 years. Amendment 2 passed, a decision on Florida's minimum wage. That means minimum wage in our state's going to gradually raise from $8.56 an hour to $15 an hour by 2026. Starting September 30th of next year, minimum wage will go up to $10 an hour and then increase $1 every year after. In the race for District 17, Greg Stubbe, the Republican incumbent, won, beating out Democrat Alan Ellison and Independent Theodore Murray. The city of Fort Myers has a new mayor, Kevin Anderson. He beat out Jacqueline McMiller for Randy Henderson's seat. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
A crash at College Parkway and McGregor Boulevard, slowing traffic on College Parkway, getting off of that Cape Coral Bridge. Really give yourself lots of extra time heading out of the Cape. Just a packed morning. The crash at Golden Gate Boulevard and 4th Street is still delaying traffic for about a mile and a half. So if you're heading west of Everglades Boulevard, avoid Golden Gate Boulevard. I would stick to Oil Well if you want the quicker option. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After another cool and pleasant start, we rebound and warm up this afternoon. Breezy, mixture of sunshine and clouds with highs in the lower to middle 80s. We do start to bring in a chance of rain as we hit Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend and the early part of next week. A big wild card in the forecast depending on where Ada decides to go. Wink will keep you posted on the very latest on that system as high temperatures look to top out into the 80s with more rain chances into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News.
Right. All along.
Black Friday sales event going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. 2020 Jeep Renegade Trailhawk 4x4 loaded, $139 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab lease for just $299 per month. That's right, loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice, just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
42 monthly, 16,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, zero security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand bar for 72 months at 0% APR with 0 down. Lender approval offers don't combine.
Tomatoes, sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's sports page. Do you feel like you're the forgotten person in this great country, working hard all your life and contributing to this country's greatness, but taken for granted by our politicians' quest for voters? Using their slogan, more taxes will set you free. At Stevie's, you are not forgotten. We love our customers and never want them to feel forgotten. We deliver the value you deserve with our food, service, and pricing. Making our customers feel special is our happiness. As the owner of Stevie Tomatoes, we cater to the forgotten person. Those of you who go about every day doing what it takes for them and their family while contributing to this country's greatness, its culture and values. I personally invite you to allow us to be a small part of what makes you feel special, and we promise to obtain your complete satisfaction. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomato sports page in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Movember. What an interesting way to look at men's health through the lens of a mustache. You can start off clean-shaven and then proceed to grow your mustache as a way to celebrate men actually talking about their health. Yeah, talking. When it comes to erectile dysfunction, talking is a great start. When you talk about it, you're one step closer to solving it. The next step? Metro Men's Health. Call us today and schedule your free evaluation. And let's talk about your ED and how you, like thousands of men, can achieve consistent, longer-lasting results with the new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. So this Movember, grow your mustache for men's health, and then let Metro Men's Health help you grow your relationship. Mention mustache and get your evaluation free, $150 value. Call Metro Men's Health and schedule your free evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or MetroMen'sHealth.com.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit MoranWM.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live on YouTube. Please subscribe at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate that. Look, nothing's over yet. We do not know who the President of the United States is going to be. We do know that the chance of there being some kind of shenanigans are probably a good bet. Doesn't mean that the president will not do what others have not done in the past, which is fight back. And look, if there is something clear that we can see, you got a 600,000 vote lead in the state of Pennsylvania for the president right now, and a lot of red areas that still have yet to report. And when you have voting stopped and then starting back up again, and then more ballots counting, and you see a swing of 500,000 votes by Friday in the state of Pennsylvania, you might have a question or two. Look, but through all of the confusion, there was some excellent news, including the race for U.S. Congress in CD District 19, and Byron Donald's victorious, and he's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Byron, congratulations.
Thank you, Drew. To Southwest Florida, thank you also.
A lot of people out making their vote known last night when it comes to the state, and a lot of people showing up. That's got to make you feel good to start with. I mean, let's start with some of the positive out there. Boy, we really did show up here in Southwest Florida and certainly across the state.
Well, I got to tell you, we had record turnout, definitely among Republicans. Obviously, it was a record turnout across the United States. But Republican voters, whether they were in rural areas, suburban areas, and even urban areas, they turned out. You don't even want to say turned out in droves, because that just means that, most people turned out. No, they turned out. Everybody made sure they got to the polls. And that's one of the reasons why Florida was such a decisive victory for the president. I mean, listen, we're typically a 1% state. For the president to win Florida by almost 3 points is insane. The left, I know CNN and MSNBC were pulling their hair out looking at Florida numbers, but I was getting internal numbers probably about an hour and a half before they called the state, and we knew we had Florida in the bag.
Yeah.
So it was really a kudos to everybody in Lee County, Collier County, everybody in our state. And listen, Miami-Dade voters came home last night for the president. Big turnouts over there. That's the reason why we flipped 2 congressional seats over in Miami-Dade.
Yeah, some great news there to not have to worry about the far left Representative Donna Shalala any longer, which is a nice thing. In 27 in District 26 as well, with Carlos Jimenez, the former mayor of Miami-Dade there. And so that is nice, as well as having you there to fight for hopefully what will be another 4 years for the president. Certainly a lot to do. Tell me what, first of all, before we start getting into some of the other things that are going on, the minutia and the presidency, and I want to get your thoughts on that as well. What are you excited about as you make your way to Washington, D.C.? What are you thinking about? What are the things that are on your mind right now?
Honestly, the biggest thing is to really get into the battle. Our nation, even though we feel great that the president's going to pull this out, I mean, we're a divided country. And it's important that we take, the message of conservative principles to all voters across the United States and all across Florida. And I'm going to have a hand in that. And I'm really excited about doing that because, I think if we really take a look at this, what the left has mastered is identity politics and fear politics. And so because their policies suck, Drew, I mean, they're just awful policies. And because they're not good, they have to resort, to race. They have to resort to identity, and they got to resort to these emotional arguments, which just don't matter. They don't mean anything. This whole, Joe Biden's whole thing of fighting for the soul of the nation. What does that even mean? Who says he's our emotional leader? I mean, these are the things that we're talking about that are important, and you got to have leaders who can speak to that, speak through that, and hopefully get other voters to start seeing what's real and what's fake. And I'm going to definitely be on the line to do that because the country is on the line. Even though I think the president is going to take this victory, it's going to be tight. Obviously, everybody knows that now. But we have work to do. We can't just rest on our laurels, even if President Trump is reelected.
Yeah, and having said that, oh, by the way, Byron Donald's joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, winning his CD19 race, and of course will be representing here the district in Southwest Florida, and we are excited about that, and certainly the fight that is ahead, which doesn't go away. Which, by the way, you could even speak to that. I just want to make sure people realize that, and we've said this before, and even personally, the two of us have said this before. You think everything is going to be like taking a ball and going home for Democrats today, like after today, even what happens at the end of the week, regardless of who wins? You think that's going to be the end of the fight? No. There are more battles to come, and everybody needs to realize that. And even when you talk about, for example, we just had the conversation with Jonathan Martin a little while ago, and we've been talking about it all this morning. I feel good about the president. I think the president has a great chance right now, even with the shenanigans going on, of pulling this out. But the thing I am concerned about is Amendment 2. And I'm so disappointed. I got to tell you, that's my heart sunk. That was the one thing that I was looking at and saying, I need that to be my silver lining. And unfortunately, it wasn't in all of the nonsense that's been happening. I'm really concerned about that aspect of it and what that's going to mean for the economy here in the state.
Well, it's like I was saying, Drew, what Amendment 2 passing, I mean, it barely passed. And I think that's the thing that's more upsetting, is that it just barely got over the line. But what that tells you is that there's a lot of voters who aren't understanding the economics of putting in a hard-line, massive minimum wage. We've seen this happen in other states and other counties. It does not work well. And unfortunately, we're going to see that come to Florida. And my hope is that the impacts, I just hope that our businesses are going to find a way to get around these impacts. But unfortunately, the poorest workers among us, the people who truly are on minimum wage jobs, the people who have low skills and are trying to find better skills to earn more money and for their families and for themselves, they're going to be the ones that suffer under this. And so, again, this is liberal policy. I would say no thank you to John Morgan, because what he did was a disaster for our state. And unfortunately, it's going to hurt a lot of poor people. But voters need to learn about this stuff. And it's our job as leaders to do a much better job on educating the voters about what's going on their ballot so we can stop this stuff. I mean, look, minimum wage policy is something, frankly, the state legislature should be deciding. It should not be in our Constitution. This is probably going to be the worst amendment since, I want to say class size amendment in Florida, because class size amendment is another bad one. And what it has done is change the economics in our schools, which hurts our kids. And frankly, it hurts our poorest kids. And that's who actually suffers under it. But everybody thinks it was a good idea. And what we've already realized in the state of Florida over the last 20 years is that class size has not been good for our schools. And unfortunately, we're going to realize that the minimum wage amendment is not going to be good for our families and our workers.
Yeah. And I have to tell you that's the one thing that hurts my heart in this is that we know the ramifications. We know what's coming. We know what's going to happen, and we know who's going to get hurt. And we don't. And unfortunately, that people are going to have to go through it to realize it. But then, how do you change it? How is it going to be changed? And having these amendments like these constitutional amendments on a situation like this and others that you brought up as well, that concerns me into the future. But that's for another day. It is a great day for you. Congratulations. Many blessings to you and your family. And listen, you know that everybody here in Southwest Florida certainly is excited about the future for you and what's up next. And so that is part of the good news that we walk away. Even though there's going to be good news on the horizon with the president, I do believe that this in the present moment is one that's special. So all the best, Byron. We'll speak with you soon. Okay.
Hey, listen, Drew, thanks. And the thing I'll tell everybody listening is you're never going to have to guess where I am. I'm going to always make sure that I'm upholding conservative principles in Washington. And just thank you so much for the support and the honor of representing you in Congress.
All right,
God bless you guys.
All right, we'll see you soon. There he goes. Byron Donald joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He will be our next representative, CD19. And that's going to be great. And I do believe, to his point, listen, it's about conservative values. It's about honoring the Constitution, understanding what's at stake, and not being afraid to speak out about it. And look, as far as what is happening with the presidential race, your thoughts, 239-479-5592, as we look at the situation and what we do know. Let's talk about some of the things we know. We know, number one, that we have a president that will fight. We have a president that is looking at the same things that you're looking at, understands exactly what is happening when it comes to what is going to be the next few days, or today, and then the ballots that will be counted, and then leading through Pennsylvania, an important state. The president and I believe Joe Biden both need, and the lead that's there now and how that's going to change. Michigan and Wisconsin, one of those two is going to be very important for the president in order to win. Michigan looking really good, but there are ballots that are uncounted, and what the left will do to ensure, again, I've said this earlier to Liz Harrington and the GOP, and I said that 2016, they didn't know what they had in a presidency. Donald Trump, they never believed he was going to win anyway. And then when he did, they spent 4 years trying to get him out of office. Now they know exactly who they have and what are they doing. They're spending this election figuring out what unfortunately could be their game plan into the future, if this works. So how is it going to go? We'll see. So Sean Davis from the Federalist is making some points here. While everyone was asleep and after everyone went home, Democrats in Michigan, a state that I was looking at before I came here this morning and feeling really good about, I mean, it was a big lead, magically found a trove of 138,000 votes And every one of the 138,339 votes that magically appeared went to Joe Biden. That's not suspicious. That doesn't have you questioning what we may be in for. Yeah, this is something we're going to have to keep an eye on. And so what will be next, and what are your thoughts? Josh is in Fort Myers. Josh, you have some thoughts on Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Drew, I'm still...
Hey, Josh, can you do me a favor? I'm sorry, your phone is really noisy. Is there a way you can take us off of speaker or close your window or something? Maybe take us off speaker might help. I'm going to put you on hold for just a second, and Jake will get back to you just to double check. Joseph wanted to talk about Amendment 2. Hey, Joseph.
Yeah, hi, how are you this morning?
Great.
Question is there a possibility of there being, for small businesses, just kind of way around it, maybe, instituting a salary-based income rather than an hourly-based income?
Oh, they're going to do it. Listen, it's a great point you're making, which is, listen, it's not just going to happen, right? It's not... You're not going to have something that is going to kill your business, and you're going to stand there as somebody who's been in business for who knows how long and look at this situation and say, okay, I guess I'm out. You're not going to do it. You're going to do whatever you need to do to survive, to continue to keep that business going within that margin that we all have. We live within margin each and every day, and so does a business. So how will they do it? Will it be technology-based, Joseph? Will it be changing the amount of employees that they have at any given time? Is it going to have to do with the ability to have benefits to give to their employees that they otherwise will not be able to afford? There are going to be a lot of different options that businesses are going to have to look at and try to figure out.
Absolutely. The repercussions from this is going to be detrimental.
Yeah.
I work for a small business myself, and one of the benefits with us is they pay for my insurance. I don't pay for my insurance at all. I foresee that going. There's a lot of things I foresee going for the small business I do work for. It's kind of frustrating.
Yeah. Well, we will see. All right, Joseph, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. 239-479-5592. Look, there are a lot of people that have confidence that the president's going to be just fine at the end of the day, that he's going to. And by the way, when the president said that they won this election, that they felt like they won the election, they knew what everybody else knew, that if the ballots would have been counted yesterday, that everybody would have witnessed the victory for the president. But instead, the ballot counting stopped when certain states realized that there could be a victory at hand. Places like Michigan and places like Pennsylvania and places like Georgia, where it just happens that they're going to count ballots in a stadium that all of a sudden has a water main break in a stadium. How often does that happen? At that one moment when all those ballots were going to be counted. It just seems a little coincidental. But again, it's not over till it's over. Thank you, Yogi Berra. And so the important takeaways are this. President's going to have to figure out a way to get Pennsylvania. He's not going to have to figure it out. Democrats are going to have to figure out a way to win it from the president because he, by all accounts, he's got it. They're going to have to take it. And how are they going to do that? Michigan, they're going to have to take Michigan. How are they going to do that? What's that going to look like? And will the president fight back? And the answer is yes. If it appears as if there is this deceit that is happening before our eyes and everybody knows it, like what I just described out of Michigan, there certainly will be grounds and reason to fight. And that is one of the things that makes this president so great. Is that sooner or later, this president will not be here. He will not be the president of the United States, whether it's in a couple of days or whether it's in 4 more years. And then at that point, who's the fighter, everybody? Who fights next? Who's up next? Well, Glenn Beck is up next, and there'll be more analysis on what is taking place. So stay where you are. Stay break 92.5 Fox News. Let's find out what's happening with traffic and your forecast with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
For today, temperatures in the